Yes.
You're what?
That's crazy.
As
Can
far
I
as
choose to not have priority?
No.
I know, we go over that every time.
As far as my roster, we were running Winter Guard, led by Crimson Dynamo. We also have Domino, Crimson Dynamo, and Domino.
Crimson Domino.
Sapex Brother, Apex Tooth,
What?
Bullseye, and Gwenpool. As far as tactics cards, we have They Say Keep Your Enemies Close, Exceptional Healing, Sovereign Strike, Recal, and Patch Up.
I just realized they're all long movers except for Corvus Glaive too.
Yeah.
This is a good list. Good job, Peter.
Yep.
Tall to Peter Qual. I'm gonna go tinkle and make a new beverage. And I'll be right back. What can we afford? Anything? Not really. Okay. I'll be right back soon.
Tom, I know you are dumb, so I will give you some advice. Something my uncle used to tell me was that you should always fight fire with fire. He was a smart man, but a terrible firefighter.
Never
That's
too early
good,
for
Dr.
it.
D. I don't know if you can hear that.
All right, guys, we're back. I think I fixed my camera. I got this Adepticon mat. Charles is here, not only in voice but in face too. Dude, this Adepticon mat is real mint. Like, this is pretty dope. Tim, bring Taylor back. Listen, Taylor's around, man. You know what? If you actually want to see Taylor, there's a great place to do it, and it's next Saturday at the art store in Syracuse, New York, where we're going to be running an affiliation battle that also is a qualifier for the new East Coast qualifying series, which will take place next year. So this is going to be the first qualifier for the East Coast, effectively, tournament series next Saturday, and Taylor will be there. Who knows? Taylor might be the first qualified for the new East Coast tournament circuit. But Charles, welcome, man. How are you?
No real complaints, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. So, listen, we assembled these dudes yesterday. I got them primed last night. They are here. We have Death Trooper, I think, and some Dark Troopers. I think we're going to start with the Dark Troopers. I was having a conversation earlier with somebody and was talking about how, oh, well, they're all black droids. It's going to be really easy to do and really easy to paint. And I was called an idiot immediately by said person, and that black is one of the dumbest things to try to paint and have to do a lot of. So listen, we'll figure it out because we have a great teacher here today for it as well. Wow, that was loud, Tata Colossus. That was loud in my head. Also, Lindsay's right here too. You can see here in the background. Lindsay set me up with kind of a kit here to get painted today. So I have a wet palette. I have a bunch of Lemonade Prime from Logan Paul to make sure that we're priming our models correctly. That's what we're going to be using for our paint water. That way we can drink it afterwards and get electrolytes. So
you are helpless against my power, X-Men.
First things first, Lindsay has dampened this pad for me. Charles, how the hell do I use a wet palette and what is it for?
You use a wet palette just like a regular palette.
Okay, what does one use a palette for? to move like crates, right?
No, I use my hands for that.
Oh,
no, so the wet palette, nice benefits behind wet palettes are that it actually allows your paint not to dry out. So whereas like a regular palette, when you put it on there, the paint automatically will start drying out and you don't get to use all of it. A wet palette will keep your paint moist. It allows for the less paint to go longer, go farther, so more bang for your buck.
Okay. And you can like close it up too afterwards, right? And it like saves it like for your next time. Does that actually work? Does it stay moist enough to do that?
Yes. Like the wet palette I use is the Exemplar. I can't remember who makes it. I like it because it's got like a little vent hole on top. So I close it up, I pop that little vent hole, and then I can come back like a week later, and all my paint is still going to be viable.
Oh, dope. Okay. Is that the blue one that was on your desk yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my desk now. Just obviously I don't have the lid on.
I also love my exemplar palette too. Oh, nice, Xpex. I think we actually had an Amazon link for that. I think we sent out at some point. Because those are dope. Dr. D actually wrote a blog post about that wet palette.
That's when I almost kickstarted.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Line.
Death, Dark, Doomed, just prime black. So I did prime these gray. Not because I wanted to, but because we just didn't have any black primer at the house last night. So that's our starting point there. What model is Tim going to destroy today? Hopefully 4, with the Death Trooper, the Dark Troopers, and Moff Gideon. Game envy. You don't need a wet palette, just paint faster. I mean, that doesn't sound like awful advice, Peter. All right, so where am I starting with this? What type of brush should I have out? And what should I be starting with? I was talking to Tisdale earlier, and he said build up the blacks, like start with the black, then use like the blue black, and then the darkest gray that ProAcryl does.
Yeah, and that just depends on what type of black you're going for. So there's warm and cool. Warm would be more of the gray colors, cool would be more of your bluish colors. And if you look at like a lot of pictures online, you can see like different types of fabric have different shades in it. You'll see more browns in black cloth. So it just depends. Like if you're doing a droid, you can go either route. You can do the blues, you can do the grays. If you're going to do the blue route, you want your final your final highlights to be not straight gray, because you want to save that. You want to keep that consistency of the blue behind.
Okay.
So, and you can do that one of two ways. You can either just
Start at
do
beginning,
a mix,
continue through the middle steps, and finish with
like
the
Dr.
end
D
activities.
talks about in his
No
article.
issues, Tim.
He has 2 real well written articles about doing warm and cool.
Yeah, actually.
Blacks. So if you are working on your, I would say do your droids first so you can get a feel of it.
That was my thought.
Since Gideon is a character, I stick to 2 brushes. I use a number 2 and a number 3.
07.
And then I have like a utility brush that is this guy that I use for washing, priming, everything. I just don't care about this brush. But otherwise, I usually just use a number 2 or a number 3.
Pencil?
No, brush.
Oh, okay.
Which brushes do you have?
So I have the Army Painter Vehicle Brush. It's a dry brush, I believe. I have the Citadel Dry Medium, and the Army Painter Small Dry Brush. And then I also have this thing that but Lindsay provided me with in the Army Painter wet palette. It looks like a bunch of master stroke shade brushes, round brush, more shade, wash brush, and then what looks like a Psycho or 2.
No, those are just...
To paint black, you declare which black you're going to activate, and then you have 2 activations
if
of
you have
black,
the Army Painter
along with any
regiment
superpowers
or
that have an active icon next to them.
round
And when you're done, you
number
put an
2,
activated token either near the bottle or on
and
the
it will
palette
say
next
like
to the
2
color.
or 3 on the.
And this one will go in the
handle
square
someplace.
hole.
So Ryland says to paint black, you declare which black you're going to activate, and then you have 2 activations of black, along with any other superpowers that have an active icon next to them. And when you're done, you put an activated token either near the bottle or on the palette next to the color. So I gotta get some activated tokens still.
The number 2, not a round.
This is the number 2?
It's not round, but it's number 2.
Okay.
As long as it comes to a point.
Yeah.
Or the Slayer brush might work too.
All right, so starting out here, so we're gonna start with let's start Grim Black or Dark Neutral Gray. No, we don't want that. Over here still?
Yeah.
Which one?
One of the one of the Citadel blacks or the Coal Black would be the darkest.
The Coal Black.
Yeah, that's a good one to start with.
Where's the Coal Black?
Should be.
Should be your
ProAcryl.
There's not a.
Here, hand to me. The bin.
Sure. There's no other ProAcryls in the bin. Yeah.
That's not good. Should have been Coal Black in there.
All right, so no Coal Black.
Abaddon Black.
Abaddon? Sure. Okay, so when it's a Citadel paint pot versus the squeeze bottles here, do I put that on the wet palette?
Yeah, you would just take some, make sure you shake it up, and then you'll just take it and you take like a little dab from your brush and just put it on your wet palette. Okay.
Okay, there we go. I have paint on a wet palette. I'm a real painter now, boys. I have my my lemonade prime over here in the cup too. Wash the brush. Man, the black doesn't come out of that brush super easy, huh?
Like when you're rinsing it.
Yeah.
They don't want
Hey
it to
Tim, this is going to be a really bad chemistry joke.
come out. Like
I
when you
doubt
load
I'll
the
get a
brush, you want
reaction.
the paint to be in there. Just make sure you take some water and thin it down.
So like just fill my brush with water and kind of like put it in the black that's on the palette.
So what I do is I sit here, like I'll load up the brush just like this, and then touch the water. You'll see the color slightly come out of it, and then put it on the palette, and you're looking for a nice consistency where it flows from the brush.
Can we get some hype in the
But
chat for
it
Charles
doesn't,
trying to help the helpless?
It doesn't pull in on itself when you put it on the model. If it pulls in on itself, it's because there's too much water, and the surface tension of the water is affecting the pigments.
Gotcha. So I probably have a little too much water here, but so then I just start putting paint on the model, right?
Yeah.
I heard yeah, so I'm going for it.
So if you
X-Paxes, thank you for the gift subs, man. Hamster Bob, Eat Abel, Job Blide, Keelan Plays, Taco Bell. That's an awesome name, actually. Uvika618, all getting gift subs from X-Paxes. Dude, thank you so much.
So if you look at my thumb, this right here is about a good consistency for a base coat.
Okay.
So it's thin enough where you're not going to lose any of your details, but it's thick enough where you're not going to have to put on like 30 coats to get the coverage you want.
Gotcha.
So never want to try to get something base coated in just one coat. It really should take you like 2 or 3 coats.
Okay. Why do those keep happening? What is that noise? Oh, there's something over here. What is this? To find out what alert box that is. This one here looks like. Boop. Move that up over here. Nice. Oh, it's really blowing up X-Packs. That's really nice.
The other thing you're avoiding too with your thin coats is you don't want to leave brush strokes behind.
Okay.
And then keep an eye on your brush. Don't let the paint get into the ferrule.
What's the ferrule?
The little metal part that the bristles run into.
Oh, there's already paint on that. But I watered it up a whole ton, so it looks like that'll come up just fine. I can see why you have to do this in layers. I expected this to stick a lot more. Granted, it could be the water, but and really with this, I can kind of just do the whole model initially with this, right? This is kind of all that color. There's not a whole lot of stuff that's not going to be based like that.
Anything that's going to be black.
Should I stay away from the gun with the black? Or is that going to also kind of be going that route?
No, you can do the gun because you can work that up from black and use the black as natural shadows. I'm pretty sure most of the firearms in Star Wars are black anyways. There's only a few that are silver. And then you can just do it an opposite highlight than what the rest is. So if you go with like a blue highlight for your droids, then use the gray for your weapon to help separate it from the rest of the model.
Okay. Dude, Chuck was right. This playlist for like non-DMCA'd emo music is actually pretty solid. Guess I should make sure I'm actually having the model on the visible part of the camera while I'm painting, huh? Streaming 101 over here.
Gosh, I hate capes. Usually when I have a model with a cape, the cape is left off.
So, like, what's your preference, especially for Shatterpoint models, for like some of the secondaries? Like, I really like to always have the helmet off to kind of differentiate them, like Commander Cody or Rex from the other models in their particular unit. Are you helmet on or helmet off guy?
Very helmet on guy. I don't like painting skin tones, so whenever I can get away with not doing it. So usually those commanders anyways have specific markings that distinguish them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, no, I'm just not a fan of skin tones. I guess mostly because I'm lazy, and you know, you paint models you're gonna play with. You paint a little bit different than like a display model. A display model, you take your time. You're not worried about how much effort goes into like painting the skin tones, but a model that you're gonna play with and put your hands on and drop and throw across the table. When you want them to look good, that's one thing, but you still don't want to dump like 30 hours into a model that you know you're going to be handling all the time.
I gotcha.
So when I paint models for play, I paint them to the 3-foot rule. Like, you hold it in your hand, stretch out your hand. If it looks like it's supposed to look like, then you're doing what you need to. So, and then once you paint more and more and more, your 3-foot rule will just get better and better, because what you can do in a decent amount of time will increase.
Okay.
So your dexterity will build up, and then you'll find techniques that you can use. Different layering techniques won't take you as long as it did when you first started, so you're able to layer more, you're able to blend more, So like what you consider a decent 3-foot rule will just change in advance with how much you paint.
All right. What is this? Tim is painting and it isn't the same bathroom 30 times. First off, Heather, it was 4 times I painted that bathroom. Or those bathrooms, sorry. They were obviously all different.
More brushes.
What's that?
I need more brushes and this little
Nice, thank you.
brush up thing. I was looking for sticky tack. Make you a bottle holder.
Oh, gotcha.
Because we didn't have the map.
I'm surprised we don't have any tack here.
I looked on the bottom of the bottles.
I mean, in my car, my dental floss is held on my dashboard with sticky tack.
I used to have on my other car.
I think that's a good start on this feller. So we'll switch over and do that to the other droid in the meantime.
Yep, as long as all of it's nice and smooth and you got everything covered. One of the things that sucks is when you're rushing and then when you come back to do the next color, you're like, oh, didn't base this part of the model.
So what we're doing, or so what I'm doing right now would be considered the base coat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, base coat. And there's a bunch of different ways. Like when I first started, I would base coat the entire model. So I would block in all the colors, and then I would wash the entire model in a brown. And then I would go back and do a couple highlights.
Okay.
And that's how I started. And then we can do this one of 2 ways. We can either dry brush, which is a nice, easy way to get black done, show the highlights of the black, and or we can try to do the layers.
All right, Lindsay's checking my work here, and it looks like I did miss a couple things, especially around the feet and some of the joints that are kind of like hidden from like an initial paint swipe.
Yep, it happens.
Tim, are you going for a more grimdark style or more of a Kafka-esque? You know, I'm a big fan of Kafka, but I'd really like to talk more about Kant. We're going for philosopher jokes.
If you were only here earlier when I made sure to reference the article that could teach you how to paint black without a negative emotion.
Right, Dr. D? Charles is over here, like, doing work for you.
Plugging the guy, he doesn't even give me any recognition for it. Acts like I'm ignoring him.
Well, he's very classist as a doctor. Like, he prefers rogues and hunters over the common man. That was a World of Warcraft joke, Dylan. Oh, once again, I gotta maybe just move the camera down a bit, so actually keeping that in shot.
The lighting's not great.
Yeah, the lighting's really not stellar in here. No, it wasn't. It was a I am poor no matter how hard I work joke, Tim. I am middle or class. Yeah, that's a good club to be a part of.
And this paint goes on nice. Didn't even have to prime my model. And one of the nicest things about acrylic paint and plastic models is if you're in a rush, you really don't need to prime them.
Really?
Yeah, it takes a little bit extra care because sometimes the paint will. It takes like a couple more coats for the paint to actually stick with a nice smooth finish, but definitely isn't a requirement. Having it primed makes it much easier. Usually what I do is I spray prime all my models with like an airbrush. I just didn't have time to do that last night.
What's the benefit to priming with an airbrush over like a rattle can?
For me, like you have better control. And then I've had a couple times where usually due to weather, like when I was in North Carolina because of the humidity, where I would prime a model with a rattle can, and if the weather wasn't just perfect, my models came out with like a grainy texture.
Oh, okay. Well, and I've heard that too, like pretty much like in certain parts of the country during winter, it's like, well, I'm just not going to prime anything until spring. If it's like rattle can on a porch or something.
Yep. Yeah, when I was in Springfield, Illinois, I would just do it in my basement.
Yeah.
I'd, put some cardboard down, and that way I would only have like overspray that you would have to deal with.
Well, I feel like too, like in our basement, that's where the resin printers are set up. And like I know when you have a warm front and a cold front, that's what makes like tornadoes. So I assume 2 different types of fumes will create like a small, weather event down there. Maybe that's not how it works, but like that's just what I assumed would happen.
Creating your own red tornado.
I forget where I learned that. I think it was Futurama. When Amy and Fry are on the surface of Mars in her new car, and he turns on the AC, and then it gets too cold, so he also turns on the heater. and the 2 fronts of air made like a localized tornado. You can get the underside of the Mini. The cans always force you to miss the underside.
It definitely doesn't make it easy.
You don't just hold it in your hand and prime your entire hand and the model from every angle. So our prime spot out on the back porch, like there was this big bee out there today, right? I like went out to grab something out of the car, and I'm a big fan of bees, but this dude was like all over me. So I like hop in the car and I close the door, and he just sits like eye level with me on the driver's side window, like just hovering at like eye level. I was like, dude, I didn't do anything to you. I just walked out of my house, settled down. So I waited because I assumed he would just get bored and leave, and he didn't. He stuck around for like a few minutes. So then I turned on the car, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll scare him off with the like the wipers or something. So then he goes to the front of the car on the front windshield, and once again, just kind of hanging out. So I turn it on, I spritz the windshield. He backs away for a second, comes right back. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll like back down the driveway a little bit. And he followed me. And I didn't have my phone, so like I was like, I gotta get a hold of Lindsay. She's gonna think something happened while I'm still out in the car. So my Bluetooth connected finally to my phone that was like on the living room table. So then I ended up just pulling all the way out of the driveway, going in the front door instead. So anyway, there's a bunch of prime stuff on my back porch that just is no longer accessible because that big bee's out there.
You don't even know what kind of bee it is, do you?
It was definitely a bumble because it was a big fuzzy boy, but it had the long legs of a not bumblebee. So maybe it was like a Russian Italian hybrid or something.
Or a carpenter bee.
It was definitely not a carpenter bee. It wasn't that stout. I did go out today for brunch, and we were sitting on the patio, and I was sitting in the shade, and it was with Danny, and she was sitting like directly in the sun because she's a lizard that needs to constantly be on heat rocks. And I was just effectively looking into the sun, and then occasionally I'd get blotted out by a whole bunch of carpenter bees that were like looking for spaces on the unfinished wood on the patio.
Going on, Mystic?
What are you doing?
You're off camera.
You're off camera.
Much better.
Oh, I missed the inside of the arm. That's probably an easy one to forget sometimes.
Whatever keeps your motivation up.
Bees, mostly.
I don't think that keeps your motivation up.
I'm very
That
motivated.
engages your flight reflex pretty well, though.
I'm very motivated I'm very motivated by bees. Tim, if you ever feel like you're failing, you currently have 93 people watching you paint black on a model that is only black. Hey, Mystic. Also, it's not only black, it has buttons on its chest, which will get some color.
It's lucky. If you don't forget about them.
Listen, I've already thought about it and have stated it out loud, so even if I do forget to actually do it, it's technically still a work in progress because I already announced that I would remember it and do it.
Can't believe how much black you have to paint.
Yeah, it's like doing a bunch of very specific models from Core Box 2 for MCP. Just a lot of black.
Yep.
Can confirm that.
Right? Oh, you did turn it up. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It was already on.
Oh, yeah, because Chuck was here yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably never turned it off.
If you want Dylan to paint on stream at the squad goals.
At where?
At Squad Goals?
Yeah.
Want me to paint stuff on stream at Squad Goals? Yeah, why not? If that's stuff you want to bring. By the way, I'm flying out, so there's a 0% chance that I am bringing your VIG bag from Adepticon.
Not very nice.
I mean, that'd be like an extra carry-on. That'd be like $400 or whatever American Airlines charges.
Dylan's?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to Ironweld.
Oh, yeah. We're bringing it to Ironweld.
Yeah.
It's a good call. We'll bring Brian's there, too. We just got to remember to actually put him in the car.
I'll write a note.
Why won't this tip take paint? Oh, there we go.
Hey, that's enough. Nice.
All right. Now the Death Trooper. Or did I miss a bunch of stuff, Lindsay? I will just tell the investors to get lost and figure it out. Who are the investors?
I just needed the stuff in there. The investors of his office.
Oh, gotcha. Read the comments before the single comment you read, Tim. Listen, I don't know if you've been here before, but I sometimes skip a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
This is not a new complaint.
Top of his hand. And a little part right back here.
Okay.
That's good.
The top of the hand and on this back leg, right?
Yep.
Boop, boop, boop. And now that's a completely different shade of black because I wasn't using the same type.
Other black leg.
Huh?
Other back.
Oh, this other leg?
It was only the joint.
All right, I gotta turn on this light again, I think.
Do you have a
There we
daylight
go.
bulb in?
No, it's like just like a little document camera.
Oh.
I need to just use one of the Brios and put that on there. I just didn't have like a little arm or anything to put it on.
I mean, if you
I'm
do
really
more with
excited
this-
to Game Envy. I was able to get one of their one of those nice desk lamps that they have.
Oh, nice.
Did you get the Tri-Light one?
You got to be a lot closer
Yeah.
to the mic.
Yeah, that thing looked awesome.
Yeah. Don't yet have it. Tiz hates me.
Yeah, Tisdale, honestly, like his capacity to hate people that he calls his friends is actually really impressive.
But I'm looking forward to it. I have to wait till my new desk gets here anyways, because I don't even know how I would be able to set that thing up in this rigged station I have. One of the few things I'm looking forward to not moving around anymore is being able to have something actually set up to work in.
Yeah, and just to have things accessible. Like, I really like this new desk I got. The thing I am missing from it is like storage outside of like the surface, like the flat level of the actual dealing with Bob. But yeah, no drawers or keyboard tray or things like that. Heading to the shop quick to pick up my Gideon box in a few hours. Nice, Gunmate, hell yeah! There are 92 people here, and I am the only one desperate enough to seek validation through mocking you right now. Read the comments. Fine, I'll read them from the start. Do you want me to paint stuff on Stream of Squad goals? Yes, it's fine. I just needed the stuff in there to fund my new office. Oh, the one next door? They just did a bunch of renovations too, man. I think it's a great time to be renovating in there. I will
yes, Mystic, this is Shatterpoint.
Oh, there, get the kid.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Bye, hun.
Have to's a definitive.
Like,
What's that? Yeah. No, just put the slider down. Have a good one.
I think I'm gonna go power wash something at your parents' house too.
Oh, like actual Power Wash and not Power Wash Simulator?
Correct. And yeah, I already finished that game. Now I get to move on to the real thing.
They had an Adeptus Mechanicus patch for Power Wash Simulator, where you could like power wash. What do you power wash in that? Like knights or something?
Yeah.
Knights, dreadnoughts.
And then there was some
Nice.
Yeah. I finished it though, so I pretty much finished every aspect of the game.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
One of the game stores in this area, they have I don't know if it's a worker or a customer, but they regularly do Golden Demon entries, and one of the ones they did was some guardsmen power washing a dreadnought.
God, that's dope. Actually, I like that.
Yeah.
Ideas for shade color for Death Troopers rather than pure black, purple. Yeah, so I think I have a blue black that I'll be trying out on there. Man, that second layer really darkens it up quick.
That's how you break things.
Did you apply too much pressure to something? Because I do that a lot.
Yeah, I decided to slam my fist down onto Dooku.
Oh, that'll do it. Yeah. It's kind of rude too. Dude doesn't have hands anymore after a certain point, or at least loses one.
Tom,
Seems to
how
be
about
a
I review
common
all of
trend
the new
in the
monument sets on stream
Star
during
Wars
Squad Goals?
universe. I don't think you're a real Jedi or Sith if you have all the body parts you were born with.
I mean, I think there's more than enough evidence of that. How about I review all of the monument sets on stream during Squad Goals? Hell yeah. Yeah, yes. I think that's a great idea.
I still need to get some paints that he uses in his article, so I don't have to try to figure out a complementary paint.
His articles, by the way, over at professionalcasual.com are absolutely stellar reads, not only for entertainment value, but for practical skill value as well. If anyone is unaware of that. I believe, Dylan, if you're there and you type in !blog, it will link directly to the blog section of the website.
Yeah, they're pretty well written. They're easy to follow too.
Yeah.
Uh,
A lot of pictures, which helps me stay engaged.
Yeah, as soon as I quit being lazy, for any individuals who don't like to follow instructions while reading, not a big fan of it myself. I'll get those videos made using his technique.
Nice.
But I do gotta get the paints that he uses. So, like, the only downside to being all the way out here is you rarely can ever just like go to a store and get what you want. You have to order it, wait for it.
Yeah. Yeah, the good old hurry up and wait.
Yeah. You need to get, if she doesn't already have it, you need to get Lindsay one of these Vortex bottle shakers.
Oh, are those the things that you press the pod thing down into and it like shakes it up or whatever?
Yep.
Anthony has one upstairs at the Dragon that, like, whenever anyone buys a pot of paint, like, he'll shake it up for them before they go.
Yeah.
I think I would just play with that too much.
Whatever floats your boat. I made sure I ordered one before my procedure because it jostles my neck too much to try to shake paint.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even with the balls in it, like, you're still.
Yep. So, and now that I have one, I'm like, man, why did I ever not have one?
Right.
I remember the old school one when I was first learning how to paint that they had at Capital City Games. Like you had to set the pot on there, rubber banded down, and it shook it like a paint can in the hardware store.
Hell yeah. There's still something when I think of a paint shaker that I think of that Simpsons episode where Bart uses a paint shaker to shake up a beer and it blows up the half the block or whatever. Definitely missed a couple spots kind of around the feet and ankles. Some of the like the servo digit joints, like, that are kind of like holes. I think maybe the brush I'm using doesn't want to go in there.
Quite possibly. So, like, So I think it was like 10 years ago. Guy named Wapple, amazing painter.
Yeah.
He made a comment on one of his podcasts about how much time you waste just by like switching back and forth from brushes that you don't need to switch back and forth from. So ever since then, like I've limited the amount of brushes I use. Like if the brush has a point, it has a point, use the point. You know, and then obviously there's sometimes like details you need to switch to a much smaller brush or whatnot. But so ever since I heard him say that, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I've always tried to limit the amount of brushes I use. So I have like a plethora of other brushes for different things that I'm just not going to throw out. But generally speaking, I try to keep it to a number 2 or a number 3. Like right now, I think I'm using number 3 for all this base coating, and then once I get the base coating done, I'll switch to the number 2, just because it has a smaller point that will help me with the layers.
Nice.
But so use whatever brush is comfortable and gets the job done. But like new painters, I'm not like, hey, you need like 30 different brushes to do, you know, this job.
Yeah.
So, like I just sent Taylor a set of the wolf hair bristle brushes that I really like.
Yeah. I know he was pretty stoked about those.
So, and I think it's a pack of 10 brushes, and out of the 10 brushes, there's only like 3 or 4 different sizes. So,
okay.
And they're the sizes that me and him commonly use for what we do.
So Dr. D is working on a gold non-metallic metal at the moment, but I have not been able to actually paint for like 2 weeks. Honestly, that is what makes bomb wicks so great. The long bristles make it easy to do all the work with a single brush. I'm assuming that's a company, bomb wicks? Or is that like a style of brush?
I don't know. I think it's a company. I've never heard of it. Dr. D will have to tell us.
Tisdale says, Charles, those are not MCP models.
Well, yeah, because all the MCP models I have left don't have black on them. I already did all of them. Well, except for Cosmic Ghost Rider, but that requires a different technique than what we're doing here today.
Okay, how do you open a bottle of ProAcryl? What's the... Oh, there's a seal!
Yeah, there's a seal!
Look at that!
So... There you go, unscrew the whole lid. And then take that seal off. Leave the O-ring in the lid.
The O-ring?
Not really. Yeah, it's not really an O-ring. If you look in the lid, it should have like this little white O-shape thing.
Oh, okay.
Make sure you... Yeah, I already said Cosmic Ghost Rider, but he requires different technique than what we're doing here.
Okay, so my base layer's down. I want to add the blue-black now.
So...
Or is that... Am I not there yet?
No, you're there. Like, you got the base layer down. I have my base layer down. I just got me some transparent black that Dr. D likes to use for his black that he does. So now this is where do you have any of the like dry brushes?
Yes.
Like so I think I actually have blue black from Monument Pro. I do. So I was using scale colors black, scale 75. And I lucked out because even though like the scale colors are pretty matte, they work real well with ProAcryl. So get this shaken up. So I can show you real quick the dry brush technique. So got some on the palette. You want an appropriate size brush for your model that you're doing. And then I'm not sure who at the spray team came up with this idea, but you want like a paper towel or something like that to soak up the liquid from your paint before you dry brush. The spray team uses like puppy pads.
Oh, okay.
Which is absolutely amazing. So yeah. And you can see how you want most of the color gone, and then like a good test again is you can take your fingernail, because it's got ridges on it, and you slightly drag it across, and that will tell you how much paint you're going to leave. So when you start dry brushing, when you're using dry brushing as a highlight, you're going to want to make sure you just go from the top down.
Like as far as the motion of the brush?
Yeah, because you want to get where the light's coming from. So I'm a big fan of picking a direction of my light source. And going from there. So I make sure that I highlight more from one angle. So for Count Dooku, I'll be coming probably either from, my light source is just gonna come like straight on this side of his face. So this side of his face is gonna be brighter than this side.
Is there a particular side of the face you like to come on? As far as like where you start, like do you normally start with like where the sun would rise, or is it kind of different based on each model? Like if you're doing like a unit of stuff, right? Do you try to have them all have the same like object source lighting, or do you kind of mix it up model to model based on its position and figure and stuff?
No, it's so when you're doing a squad, you don't have to worry too much about all of them having the same one unless you are staging them for a display. Then you just need to make sure that however they are in the display, they all have the same source lighting. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, every model is different. I just look at it and figure out which side I want to be brighter than the other.
Man, what color was this again? This is like looking great, like way better than I expected this early. The blue black or whatever from ProAcryl. Where'd the actual thing go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, the blue black.
Yes, that sucks. Apparently my model was not as dry as I thought it was.
Blue black is like straight up magic. I mean, I'm experiencing that firsthand. That's awesome. What a world of difference. I don't know what Tisdale was complaining about. Painting black seems super easy.
That's because he's never done it.
He did kind of outsource all of the black models to you, didn't he?
So again, this first highlight, it's okay to do top down, like almost on the all your black, because like even clothes and shadow have a slight brighter hue, especially if they're out in the open.
Mhm.
But then once we get a little bit brighter, what other colors do you have?
Neutral gray, dark neutral gray. I have a light umber. That's, I think, for the skin for Gideon. Bone, Grim Black, Abaddon Black, Base Iron Warriors. Grey Lord Gray, or Grave Lord Gray. Runic Gray. Holy White.
Okay. So I think closest I have. So, you're doing all your models black the same, like the cloth and stuff?
The cloth? There's not cloth, right, on any of these, I don't think.
No, the droid should be armor. The Dark Trooper should have, or the Death Trooper should have,
Oh, like the pouches and stuff?
yeah, he should have. I don't think he's completely armored. I don't remember.
Yeah, I guess he looks a little like a, oh, like the shoulder pad and... But outside that, yeah, he's mostly armor. And then the belt pouches and stuff like that. He has a pretty decent sized belt and all sorts of grenades and stuff on it.
And then you said you have a dark gray, like a dark warm, or a dark gray, or...
Yeah, dark neutral gray.
Yeah.
Highlighting black with gray is a war crime.
That's why we're not going to use just straight gray. But I don't think you have a different blue to use.
I do not.
So that's okay. We'll find colors to make this work for you.
I realize I keep taking the model off camera
screen?
as I get, yeah, like I'm getting like right up next to it. I'm like, there's nothing happening on my side, huh?
Alright, so we'll do that. That should help a little bit. Alright, I don't know if you can see what I did on my palette.
Oh, the little drops?
Yeah, so I put the two different grays. And you're gonna do a mixture of the black blue.
Okay. So I'll grab some of the black blue.
And then do your first dark gray. And then your dry brush, hopefully you didn't try to rinse your dry brush out. Since we're working in the same color line, what you can do is you just add the new color and work it into the bristles.
Okay.
But if you try to rinse your dry brush out, you're gonna have to wait for it to completely dry.
And not like wipe off dry?
Yeah, no, it has to be completely dry. Alright, and then again, so now since we're going up in highlights, make sure you go from top down, hold the model the way you want the light to come down. And then just nice easy strokes. You can always add more paint. It's a lot harder to have to go back and start from the beginning.
Okay, so sorry, I'm catching up here. So I have the blue gray down. I'm now putting down some of the dark neutral gray.
Okay.
And was there another one you said? Just the black that I initially used?
No, use the black blue or blue black. Use the blue black, your dark gray, and then your light gray. And then the first color you're gonna mix is you're gonna take, grab your brush, take some of your blue black, put it down, and then you'll grab some of the darker gray. So you're looking at like probably like a 2-to-1 ratio. Like you just want it slightly to change the hue of the blue black.
Okay. So we're going to be kind of making shades of this to like slightly brighten it over time, effectively?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, look at that.
And again, you're just go from the top down, because what you're trying to do is catch all your raises in the detail.
Which one's this one over here? So this is more like light touch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's always easy to add paint. It's much harder to knock it back down and start over. How you doing over there, Tim?
I think okay. I've gotten way too much paint on that brush, so now my thumb is pretty much all blue-gray.
This means you're doing it right. Get all that dry brush done. You ready for the next one?
I think so.
Okay, so all you're gonna do is you take some of that light gray now, add it to that same mixture, and you're just gonna try to bring up that black blue. So just keep adding the light gray. Eventually you're gonna have to add some more of the black blue just so you have enough paint to mix. But you just want to keep lightening it up, and you want to maintain that blue that we started with so that it looks consistent. Not a fan of the huge delay in between when I move and when it moves on the camera.
All right, yeah.
So as I rotate it, you can see like there's what you're going for is like a natural where you just see it get darker and brighter depending on where you wanted your source lighting to come from. So
All right, so I have a hair somehow stuck in my model. I'm sure that happens, especially if you have dogs, but...
yeah, you can get it out. You're gonna want to try to pull it out, and then you can just pick back up what you were doing. If you caught it soon enough, like you don't really have to do too much to fix it. But if you leave it there, especially when you're dry brushing, it's just gonna catch it and add an extra detail.
Wow, I really like how that's coming along. Like, especially getting a little bit lighter and less paint on the dry brush part. Like, that's kind of coming together a little bit. I don't hate that at all.
Went as smooth as it could go. Chicken sandwich.
The building, yeah. Overall, I struggle a little bit with these particular droids or the dark troopers, but just a lot of small parts and clumsy hands.
That's all you really gotta do is just keep adding that light gray. Until you get to the point where you want. Dr. D does this. He does a same technique that I do. Is like I'll work it up, and then he takes that clear black, like that black ink that Monument has. I think it's clear black.
Is it the translucent black? Is that what it's called?
Transparent black.
Yeah.
Transparent black.
I saw that
So,
up there.
like-
I almost grabbed it. I might head up there and grab that to finish it off.
So he'll do his workup, and then he'll do a nice thin layer of the translucent black, and that will help blend your workup all together, and just gives it that extra blending detail. So, and I do that with transparent black as well as like a real thin down dark blue. Yeah, most of their inks, Dr. D, are pretty strong. You have to thin them down a lot and apply modestly. I don't think that's the right word.
I think, yeah, modestly. To modestly apply instead of too much.
Yeah. So, and here you can see, so like I did my workup through the layers, and then the last thing I did was, I need a little bit more. The last thing I'll do is a very, very like fine highlight of the light gray. So the other thing you can do too at this point, like once you get to that final highlight, you can do like edge highlighting. I prefer to just keep doing the same technique that I'm doing, so I'll just make sure I apply that final highlight just to the very lightly, so the bristles catch just the detail parts, like the raised parts.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so like edges around armor and...
Yep. You know, where the light would just like hit that extra little detail for that reflection.
The translucents through the airbrush are primo.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I personally have not done it. I've seen a lot of, I've watched a lot of videos of individuals doing it. I don't think I'm there yet to use an airbrush on that technical level. But like the ones I have seen, truly impressive. Oh, man, again, too much. Holy crap. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Alright, so see if I can't. Usually I use a thin down wash for this part. I'm gonna give this ink a try. So and then generally after I do this part though, I will go back and do like a couple more dry brush layers.
Yeah.
And I'll go back and forth until I'm where I want it to be. So nice, super thin. Like if you can see the palette, like you see how it's like pulling away from itself, or it's like contracting into itself.
Yeah.
So it lets me know I'm using a nice thin ink consistency, as opposed to like a wash or a layer consistency. But oh man. Tell you what, Monument is on point with their paints.
I mean, that's kind of the big takeaway that I constantly hear about Monument. So like, we're obviously pretty committed to the brand for the most part, but like the fact that they continue just kind of like knocking it out of the park, especially as a newer paint company, I think is really telling about, you know, kind of what their long-term success is going to be.
It's always nice when you're able to back a product.
Right?
I might actually not have to. I don't know if I'm going to go back and do another dry brush. I'll have to wait to see how this looks when it dries. I don't think I will need to. Do make sure if you do use the like this ink, you do go over all of the black, not just like what you've dry brushed.
Okay. Oh, because that's
So,
the thing that's going to like find all the recesses, right, and stuff.
Yeah, and it will also help blend the transition from the shadows to the part that's lit. If I said that right. So yeah, and then what that did was, yeah, it just brought this back to looking like he's wearing black and not a blue jerkin or whatever you call
Yeah.
all this thing that Dooku wears.
I deviate from that thought about covering everything because I am addicted to contrast. I usually leave the highest parts alone with the translucent black. Okay.
Then anytime you do that too, like, you make sure it's completely dry before you start trying to dry brush it, because the bristles will rip the paint right off.
That is personal taste, though, since my dopamine works different. Oh, yeah, no, super fair. Yeah, especially if you're, like, used to doing something at the level that, you know, that you do, Dylan. Like, I could absolutely see that.
Yeah, I'm not nowhere near his level, so.
I'm coming for him. Just gonna reread all those blogs. Get them like text to speech, so I'll actually understand it. And then, you hear that, Dr. D? I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I'm coming for you, bud.
What's up, Cliff Jumper?
Hey, Cliff Jumper.
I think I'm calling that good on his. I did go back up and touch up a couple of the highlights. And when I did the touch up, I just did even lighter than before because I don't want to. I make sure I don't put anything in the recesses, the shadows.
How you doing today, Cliff Jumper? What are you up to? What are you working on?
Rest of his colors are like khaki, right? Oh no. Gray pants. Okay. Where's your model at?
Sorry, yeah.
Base coating that thing?
Yeah, the base coat. So this is the Dark Trooper, or the Death Trooper. So I'm just doing that initial blue black. Yeah, I think I'm getting way too much paint in my actual on my dry brush here. Like I think I putting way too much on it.
That was more of a base coat you just did, so you hid all the black base coat. Oh no, so you want to make sure you base coat them black first, not the blue black. You want your blue black to be a layer.
So that's what I just did, right? Was a layer on that? Or not really?
Where's it at?
Because I put down the black and then I did the blue black over that.
Okay. And you left the blue black out of the deep recesses?
Probably not.
So can't wait till my new desk gets here so I don't have to turn all the way around to
Yeah.
look at it. Because that one in your hand right now is just primered, right?
Nope. That was the thing that we were slowly making lighter. It started black and then the blue black. On that last dry brush, I had way too much paint in the brush, so it made it kind of look like it had been back to prime.
Yep, yeah. Yeah, so that's, yeah, dry brush, you got your tissue, right?
Yeah, I just wiped a bunch of it off on the paper towel.
Okay, and now drag it across your skin. Yep, that's still too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
About there.
So when you're... Yep, getting better. Yeah, getting better. So... Like when, get some black so you can see, and then... So... If you can see that... That is what you want your...
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I was going way too heavy on every dry brush then.
So, because the dry brushing, like what's great about it is the pigment will catch on all your detail.
Okay.
I stopped looking at his palette, Dr. D.
Tim palette has just made Tim France out. Oh, fair. Tim is painting in a monochrome as a homage to black and white TV shows. Right? I mean, look, it's you have your black, there's your blue black, there's your neutral gray, this is your dark gray. There's a bunch of different things between. There's the light gray.
Yeah, I know, pretty girl. You can't fit in my lap. I'm sorry. My lab gets jealous because the Yorkie can sit in my lap.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I had an ex like that.
Khaki. I did not think through how I was going to be. Yeah.
Tim paint scheme may be inspired by Mark's Goth Kids. I mean, not a bad way to put it.
think Dr. D, Tim is just trying to rush.
Wait, what?
I think that's what's going on.
That I'm rushing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch back up to where I was before when it looked better. That's what I'm trying to do. Oh, then yeah, we had way too much on there then again.
What are you hammering on?
Oh yeah, the desk makes a lot of noise when I get aggressive with it.
Partner says she's gonna get a hat for the Yorkie and put a PCN logo on it.
Hell yeah.
I think he understands that he's in the way.
Oh, I hadn't looked over it there in a second. Yeah, look at him right there.
You watched the Fallout series yet?
I've watched the first few episodes. I'm not like Fallout people, but like I'm actually super digging it.
Not sure how to take that. I'm not like Fallout people.
Yeah, I've never really played any of the games. They're not my deal. I really like Elder Scrolls, but Fallout's not super for me. But I love Walter Goggins, and I think he's exceptional in anything I've ever seen him in. So I've really been enjoying the show.
That's the ghoul, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He does a really good job. I think you'll like his character. So yeah, he does a standout job. Did you see that that mod for Skyrim? Pretty
No.
sure I sent it to you. It turns your Twitch chat into NPC chat.
Really?
Yeah.
That
I sent it to
seems
you. Dangerous.
that's well, I was gonna say dope as hell, but yeah, probably dangerous would be a better way to put that.
I sent it to you.
Was it on TikTok?
Yeah,
Was it to my personal TikTok?
of course.
Okay, I apparently got banned.
Say
Tisdale
what?
I apparently got banned on my personal account. Tisdale tried to send me something today and I was like, I don't see it. He's like, oh, it's to your personal one. And I tried to switch over and it was like, this account has been blocked or banned. So I don't know what I did. I've never posted anything on that account.
He made somebody angry.
Yeah, sure did.
Alright, I'll find it. Yeah, but no, yeah, somebody made a mod that allows your Twitch chat to be NPC chat, like word for word. They even took the time to like make sure the like the mouth movements somewhat match.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems like a
Looked
great
really-
streamathon thing
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it looked really good. I was I don't know how it works, so like I don't know if it's like, you know, you spend points in it and it does it, or I didn't really look into the mechanics behind it.
There certainly had been, there was this site when I was doing some of the more retro stuff. I had looked at this service that, like, when you're playing retro games, and only certain games are supported.
Yeah.
But you could, like, if you're playing Earthbound or something, your chat could spend like channel points or bits to like have enemies spawn, or to like decrease your health or steal your potions or give you more health and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be so hectic.
Right? That was kind of my thought. I was like, yo, that actually sounds like super fun though. Like,
yeah. On in Earthbound, like Earthbound was difficult to begin with, like.
Correct. Yep.
Like that was definitely a game where if you did not take the time to grind and level, like the game made you pay for it.
Yeah, it sure did. That's probably one of my favorite games of all time, Earthbound. I would rent that from our local place, like, whenever I could.
Yeah. And the doggo's name is Hades there, Scarlet. He thinks he's helping. He doesn't realize how much of an inconvenience he is. Definitely a Velcro dog.
It's been a while since I've heard that term, Velcro dog.
Yeah, he's gotten worse since my surgery. Like he rarely ever leaves my side. So, did you get caught back up yet? Like where?
No,
Where are these?
I've added way too much paint. I'm losing detail now. So I'm using a dry brush to try to get some out of the recesses, because I was using way too much, I think.
I mean, it's kind of in the name, brother.
What's that?
Dry brush?
Yeah. Yep, I didn't understand initially how dry was. But now that you showed me the thing on your hand, I'm like, okay, yep, I've been using way too much paint.
I apologize. I thought you saw that when I first did it.
So I was not paying attention to the screen. And I did see what you did. I just didn't take it as far as I should have.
So I don't know if like once I get some of this other color blocked in on Dooku, like you'll really be able to see the black. Like sometimes like you just have to what do all the good painters say? Trust the process.
Yeah.
Like your colors really actually start coming together, and you can see more when you start blocking in everything else next to it.
Thank you, Sweet, for the follow.
Oh, that is red. It's not as dark brown as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the music, Scarlet, has been like really good the last couple days. And it's all like DMCA free, so we can like actually use it, and it can go to the YouTube videos, and we won't get copyright struck or anything. So, because like we pay for a service that called Pretzel that has, you know, kind of a bunch of different filters you can put on to have stream music on. That's either like YouTube safe or instrumental only, and this emo channel I found. Once I finally took off just the instrumental part, it's pretty solid.
I'll have to go back and watch this podcast this stream because I can't hear it. Are you still working on just the droids? You haven't switched to Gideon yet?
I have not switched to Gideon yet, no.
Okay. As long as you don't give up and talk Lindsay into doing it.
Nope. These are going to be ours. These are going to be a starting point that we'll be able to come back to and look at and be like, hey, well, you see all 17 layers of this paint on here? That's where I started.
Good. Wish I would have done that. I didn't do that. I don't even have like pictures of the first models I painted. First models I painted, I used Testers enamel paint.
Testers, and that's the same brand of the plastic glue that Tisdale said, right? Or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Testers has been around for ages. Like they were what I grew up like learning how to do model cars and stuff with.
Okay. You know, so you had mentioned Gundams yesterday, and it's probably middle school, maybe early high school. I got super into the Snap Together Gundam models. Like I adored them. I loved them. They were so fun. I remember my family went to like Disney World or whatever, and Epcot, in like the Asian district thing, there was a model shop that had a whole ton of the Snap Together Gundam stuff, and I loved putting those together. Just really loved putting those together.
Yeah, they're fun. They're how I reset from painting and modeling.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, I do minimal, like I'll panel line them. Maybe do some weathering if I'm in a mood, but like I'm not one of the ones that go crazy and like repaint the whole model. So it's nice because you can put them together for the most part and they look great.
Yeah. Yep.
So like, yeah, I definitely use them as a nice little reset to everything. You know, that way, like if I'm getting burned out on painting black all the time,
that's got to be a rare thing, right? That doesn't happen all the time.
it's nice to, you know, to cleanse the palette. Do something nice and simple that doesn't require a lot of thought process. You know, the instructions aren't written out; they're pictures, so they're easy for me to follow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure he has more paint on the model than his hand is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm running out of hand. But that's why God gave me 2. Or my mom, either or.
Tell you what, I am definitely second guessing me putting his lightning hand on.
Oh, you did do the lightning hand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There we go. We're getting back to where we were before. Nice. Sometimes it just takes a new brush while you let your other one dry back out.
Let me see what you got.
Uh,
Oh, come here.
yeah, I gotta get the other camera for this because yeah, it's not really showing much of it. It's just once again, like when I look at the screen, I was like, oh, that's just primed.
Okay. Yeah, now just make sure like you take your time and you work it up.
Mm-hmm.
Your wet palette, do you have a parchment on it, or are you just painting on the sponge?
Yeah, there's a thing there. I should probably just start over, right?
I mean,
Or is
you're
that-
fine.
Or does that waste a lot of paint?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
If you know where your paint's at, that's all that matters.
Alright.
Just make sure you keep water in the sponge.
Yeah, it's a wet boy.
Watch out.
I think this black is just a little clumpy and old.
Hopefully Dr. D has lied and only said good things about me.
Oh!
Why
Yeah.
the F is there so much paint on your palette, Tim? Look
Oh,
at
we need-
Charles's.
Yeah. It's a good reference to have. We've passed that point though, so you know, sometimes you just gotta send her out. It's my first time. You know, we don't gotta worry about it. It's cool.
I love it when dogs just stare off into space at something.
Lol, Tim, that's why I paint too. Don't feel bad. Aw, I appreciate that.
Tim, painting is expensive. It took a whole bottle to paint one
Tim,
model.
painting is expensive.
You don't want me to comment to spray team and just, you know what I mean? Bottle per droid.
Oh man.
You were abandoned to spray team? Listen, think of it like, you know, when I go to a party, they normally send me to the alcohol graveyard of all the other stuff that people have left behind. Because I'm not picky, I'll drink whatever. So, you know, I finish people's old stuff. Richie, when I go to LVO, sometimes saves stuff that people leave at his house for years, just until I come back. And I didn't know, you know, beer could expire, but it can. And it tastes different, that's for sure.
Most definitely can. Especially if it's in a clear bottle. Or even a green bottle.
Don't want to take a small 100K business loan to cover the number of bottles it would take you to paint a table of terrain. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start fresh, new palette. Dylan can lower his anxiety, and we'll just, you know, we'll go from there. Well, that folds up really nice and unmessily. That's kind of cool. All right. So we're gonna put the dark neutral gray, and that was part of it too. Is oop, that's not the way you want to squeeze it. Was we didn't know the pressure to apply on some of these bottles, so we got a lot more than we wanted initially. I don't really super like how whatever this triangle thing is, so it kind of comes from the sides instead of from the tip, or is that something I'm supposed to remove?
What do you triangle thing?
Like,
did you open it up all the way?
Yeah. So it like comes out of this hole and that hole, or should this whole tip not be there?
This is what mine looks like.
With the cap off?
That's the cap on. And
yeah, so take...
When you... Oh, you don't unscrew the cap all the way?
Wait, what? Oh, there's a hole in the top. Okay. Yeah, I was squeezing it out of this part, so it came out of those 3 holes and would just kind of blot all over the place.
Oh my god.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow, that's so much easier. Listen, we're learning so much today, man.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so every paint I was putting on that palette, that's why it was all over the place, was because...
Oh, man.
All right, cool. Listen, you learn something new every day. That makes sense.
Yeah, Chat and I are learning a lot of things today.
Oh, all right. So here's the neutral gray. Oh yeah, look at that. That's so precise and easy. Huh.
Oh my god.
Huh. All right. Well, you know, some people like the cucumber better pickled, man. Like it happens.
You can't blame me. It's not my fault he's not following what I'm doing.
Oh, I didn't see that part where you, because I had to open the thing. I took the thing out like I was asked to, the seal.
Man.
Look at how much cleaner we are now. Wow, that's so nice. These are really nice bottles of paint. You can get just the amount you want instead of shooting it out 3 different triangles. He never gives up. Congrats to him. Look at this palette now, though. How nice is that? So this is the black. No, that's one of the, that's the dark gray. That's the blue black. That's the neutral. That's the light. And that is titanium white. I don't even know where that came from, but now it's there. Then we can put some of the regular black back on here too. Charles, I'll give you $10 to throw to an escalator. Listen, just so you know, my pockets are very similar to taking the lid completely off a Monument paint bottle, so that it just kind of spills out from 3 different directions, so just be careful about that.
If Monument doesn't pull their support from you, you need to go, like, thank them.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason, if you're here, or anyone from Monument, I'm sorry. I didn't know any better. And some might argue I still don't. Did you save the parchment painter to paint your house with? Okay. So we're going to take that black and the blue gray.
Oh.
And the neutral. All right, cool. Cool. Then we'll go back to that. The dry brush. We'll put that on there. We have a new napkin. So we'll get all the excess off.
I'm not, like, I'm so concerned right now.
And then we'll test it. That seemed to be kind of like what you were saying. And we go from the top down. It almost feels like that's too dry.
So, like I said, it's always easier to add paint.
Oh, I'm very good at adding paint. It's probably the one skill I do have that's actually very good for this. No use crying over spilt paint, I guess. Make him pay you double. I wasn't aware I needed to write an opening a bottle without without fear article. You know what? It would have helped me. It would have helped me.
Yeah, I didn't. I have a lot of concerns for your household. A lot of concerns for your household.
Think someone came into my house and stole my cup. You left it at the office? Nothing wrong with that. Now it's there tomorrow. Oh, you probably don't work tomorrow because it's Saturday. Yeah, so now you got to go a weekend without a cup. Happens to the best of us. Not my office. Lindsay's probably pissed. No, I think Lindsay knows better than to try to watch this while I'm doing it.
God. I'm glad she wasn't there watching you.
I was doing pretty well when she was sitting behind me. I don't know. I just heard a couple big thuds, so maybe that's her coming in to drop kick me.
God. Better hope nobody from AMG's watching.
Listen, AMG knows I'm a wild card.
I mean, I kind of wish Dallas was watching.
I think Dallas would put out a hit on me if he was watching this. All right, so here's what I think I need to do. Instead of paper towels, I just need a different model that I don't care about, so I can get the paint off the brush that way before I dry brush.
I mean, Tiz is looking out for your best interest.
I messaged Dallas to come in and watch this arson in progress. Yeah. I bet there isn't any detail left in the model. Listen, it's detailed as hell. You know, some call it like battle hardened, right? Like they're out in the paint mines, obviously, having a fight with some rebel scum, and you know, just kind of some way the cookie crumbles or something.
I mean, to be fair, be very impressed if you managed to remove all the detail from dry brushing. That would be a pretty impressive feat.
Well, as we've discussed, those first couple rounds of dry brushing weren't necessarily dry, so
oh man, Tiz, could you imagine if he was doing this at Cap City? Holy crap. Fix yourself, Tim.
fix myself. I did. I postured up. I don't have a model in my hands right now. All right, what brush was I using the first time when I did it not awful? Was it...
Remember how... You remember the... Did you look at the brushes I told you to try to get? For dry brushing?
Oh, the makeup ones?
Brush?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't... No, I didn't get an opportunity to get over to Walmart today.
Why not? You didn't start on time.
I would have started real late if I had done that.
And I messaged you early, too.
You did. I woke up and that message was there. The thing was, there was, you know,
early.
There was some drama today. You know what I mean? Little kids just belly to back suplexing other kids over flowers. So it was a little distracting. Dave and Brett would have beat him and thrown him in a dumpster. Well, the good news is maybe they can come to the game store upstairs. Has a magnificent dumpster out back.
You ignored my text this morning. You ignored my text last night.
You texted last night?
Yeah, that's okay. Guess I need to start treating you the same way Tiz treats you. Maybe I'll get better response.
Listen, you can ask Tisdale. 30% of the time, I pick up the phone every time. There we go. Now we're getting back to it. Hell yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, and it's, with the camera, it's hard to tell, but I'm getting back to what I had been at before, where I thought it was starting to look really nice, and the highlights were showing, and stuff wasn't as all, you know what I mean. Things weren't all one thick coat. Because like I don't know if this comes up here at all, but like the back part that would probably be cloth is a lot darker than the paneling and armor up here. That doesn't really show it that well, but next time I feel about my hobby skills, I will remember this. Well, listen, I'm a man of the people, bringing up everyone's self-esteem a little at a time. Yes, I like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm pretty much ready to wash it, probably, right? On the cusp?
To wash it?
Like to use a wash or a speed paint or something on it? Or is that not what that's for?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the thing you do afterwards? That you were saying, like... Not really.
Okay. Yeah, so you can take, like a dark wash or... Yeah, the transparent black, and you can add it into the recesses and the shadows to help blend your transitions and make your highlights stick out more. Is what Dr. D talks about in his article. So, and when you do that, just make sure you have a good tip brush, so that way you can control where you want it to go, and try not to let it pool either.
Oh, your hand or the model? Yeah, probably both. Honestly, could use a translucent black.
I wouldn't say Adepticon is one of his hobbies as much as one of his lifestyles.
Wait, what was that?
Scarlett said that,
oh, Tiz pretty...
count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say that that's a lifestyle for Tisdale.
I mean, he actually yelled at me this year, so...
Hey, same! I think that was the first time I've been yelled at by him. Outside of, like, my regular shenanigans. I hate both of you. You hate us with love.
That's why we're talking about it. Obviously, you hate us if you yelled at us.
Mm-hmm.
I can count on one hand the amount of people that have actually yelled at me.
Oh, I would need any excess hands you have. to count the people that have yelled at me. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen the first 10 minutes of Twitch chat on any of these streams, but there's normally a lot of very direct yelling.
Wait, I got yelled at and you didn't get yelled at?
Wait, what?
Why didn't you get yelled at?
I got yelled at. That wasn't a yelling? I guess your volume wasn't particularly high. It was like a whisper yell.
About the amount of color range that these models have.
The ones you're doing or the ones I'm doing?
The one I'm doing. Well, I mean yours too. Yeah, yours has a huge range.
Yeah, pretty much every gray is accounted for. A rainbow of gray.
Why do you have so much? Is that red on your palette? Why do you have red on your palette?
No, I think that's bleed through from something else.
Oh, okay.
From a previous job. If I had to guess, it would be one of the lightsabers she did recently.
Yeah, I'm never happy with my lightsabers. Different colors on that model, Tim, or is it all primer again?
No, there's different colors on here.
Okay. Well, none of us can see it.
Thank you. I should have picked up on that earlier, but
What ballet?
oh, nice. So I had a buddy / client take Lindsay and I out to see like an off-Broadway show that happened to be playing here locally called Come From Away. And at first I was like, oh, this is an obligation. Obviously, you know, he wants me to go with him because he doesn't want to go and I'll make it more entertaining for him. And then I got talking to him about it. He's like, no, actually, like, I've wanted to see this show in person for a long time. And we went and had a great time. It was a great show. It takes place during 9/11 and is about an airport in Canada that a bunch of flights got redirected to. And it's effectively like, hey, a bunch of planes got redirected to Letterkenny. Like, it was really good. Like, it was very good. A population of like, whatever it is, 7,000 gets 7,000 more people. All right. Tisdale, call back again, and I think I can patch you through onto the Bluetooth so that we can all hear you. I don't know if Charles will be able to hear you, but I think he might be able to. Tim, you have way too much paint on that brush. Yeah, I know. Let's see if the Bluetooth will pick this up or not. Not yet. Nope, that's my watch. Is the Bluetooth not on today? Am I just unpaired from this? Ooh. No. 1 second. Ugh. Phones are stupid. There we go. Roadcaster Pro. It's thinking about it real hard. All right. Now I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Can Charles, can you hear him?
Sure.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay.
Not sure how.
Okay.
I can.
All right, Tim. You have way too much paint on that brush for dry brushing.
Well, look at this. Listen, there's no. That's exactly what it should be. Right? I mean, now,
no, like
after all the...
you're leaving a... Yeah, you should not be able to leave paint like that on your hand.
Okay.
It's not even a dry brush.
Yeah, right?
Oh, yeah, it says wash brush, huh? All right. Yeah, let's put that one away.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
You need
This is the worst.
So you need a brush just like this.
It should look like a wedge tip.
Like this one.
No.
No? Not this one?
That's too big.
No, that is too big. That's way too big.
Okay.
Wait, didn't you say you had like an army painter? He said he had an army painter one.
Oh, this one here. Yeah, I forgot about this one. The medium dry brush?
I can't see it past your Dumbledore hand. Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Well, is the brush dry, or
yeah,
is it
it's dry.
dropping wet with paint and water?
No, it's dry.
Okay, so to do a dry brush, you're going to put paint on that brush and then essentially put it on a paper towel and wipe it off. You're going to work the paint into the bristles and try to get as much of it out as you can.
So like, and not just the tip, like really like soak it. And then
you want it in the brush, not super.
And then I go over here to this. I do that a whole bunch of times, right?
Oh yeah, no. Put it on the table. Put it on the table. Put it on the table. Like,
yeah,
I didn't realize you didn't watch me.
You work it into the brush. Charles, demonstrate it for him, would you? Watch Charles this time. Just put the paper towel on the table, Tim, and then watch Charles.
All right. We are going to take some of this.
Because this is actually a technique you have to learn.
Like,
so you're more blotting it, kind of?
No, like I am taking this and I am like...
He's working it into the bristles.
Oh, so more of a that deal.
Yeah, you can get, because Charles has a good camera, you can see how he's working it there. But you want it on the table so that you're getting a lot of that paint out.
I see.
Yeah, you have way too much paint on that brush.
Usually
you're going to want to get the majority of that paint out, and then when you dry brush the model, it will only catch on the high part.
Yeah, usually when I tell people to watch me, they actually watch me.
Oh, I'm trying. So now I'm good, right? There's not.
Okay, to the left of where you put that last one, don't do it on your skin because you're putting oil on there. Do it on the paper. Now move the brush. Okay, I cannot see any cut. Well, yeah, I can a little bit.
Yes, Tim, you're very trying.
Okay. So now when you take that brush, Charles, can you tell like a little better than I can? It looks somewhat right. The amount of paint that's coming off that brush.
So it'd be this mark here was the most recent one.
It looks right.
This one, where the brush is pointing. Okay.
Yeah, it should be real light paint. Should
Yep.
barely be able to see any, because when it hits the detail
Now-
on the model, it's going to come off.
Yeah, now when you take it, you're going to take that brush and find your high points, like the shoulder pads and stuff, and you're going to just take it along the edges of those things. Do you know what an edge is, Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, because that's not an edge. That's the rounded part.
Oh. So the edge here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it's not great in camera.
Do you see how it's now putting the paint on that edge only because that's what you're catching?
Yes.
That's the effect you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, that dry brush is only you're only gonna want it to catch the top edge of all the things that you're hitting with it. Can you see the difference in the effect now? It's hard for me to see.
No, that's the thing, and I think a lot of it is the lighting here. So if I can't see it changing at all, I'm sure the camera is definitely not picking it up. Because from my
you can't see anything.
No.
Okay, try to put the brush, use the brush a little more firm on the model or miniature. Sorry.
No, I'm not seeing any difference.
Are you using a lighter color, or are you using the same color?
Lighter color.
Okay.
How much lighter?
Not much.
Because I can't tell exactly what color that thing is.
So, because
Can you point to the two different colors?
This one. And this one before I added more white to it.
This one. And then there's a delay on the video, so okay, that's the first one. That's the base color?
No, this was the base color. One to the left of it.
Are you dry brushing a darker color on top of it?
No, lighter.
No, you should be dry brushing. He started with
I'm
black,
sorry.
and then he went to the blue black.
Yeah, sorry. So it started with this top one in the middle. That's the black. And then the blue black was this one here to the left of that.
Did you do that as a dry brush or just like a did you just apply it with the brush?
I don't know, man.
Okay, I'm more talking to Charles.
For which one? So the way I had him do it was, his blue black should be a dry brush, getting all the top layers, like everything that is not a recess or a shadow, to establish that the highlight, and then he should be adding in the lighter grays and working himself up and getting just the edges. It should come out looking like this.
Oh, okay.
So and that's with taking the translucent black and putting it into the recesses as well.
Yeah, the problem I'm having, like Charles, yours is clear as a bell. I can see the work that you've done. Tim's is slightly blurry for me. I don't know if it's a connection thing or like that whole model looks the same gray.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, so this is just a document camera. I don't have like the Brio setup, so that's something to upgrade for next time.
Okay, it makes it a little bit more tricky to tell, you know, what you're doing. But for us, for you, you can see it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that model looks like it's all the same color right now to me.
Yeah. Now, what about this one? This one's different colors. Once again, the lighting is not great.
Why is he white?
Because I used too much paint.
Yeah, for us, it looks like it's primered gray.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't, like, we can tell you the technique, but it's going to be difficult to coach you on the result right now.
Yeah. I agree. So what if I were to just, and this is not like a rushing
new box of models,
rushing to be done thing, but like if I were to apply speed paint on this now, or do I need to build up highlights more? Do I need to make the whole thing lighter before using the speed paint?
I don't know how Charles uses speed paint, but I use it as my base coat usually.
Oh.
So,
'cause I use it as essentially a base coat and wash in one.
Yeah, and to do that though, you have to start from a very light base coat. Like, so you need like
what does GW call that primer? Is it Wraith Bone or something like that? The one they recommend for the contrast paint of their line? I think it's Wraith Bone is what you'd be looking for.
Yeah, there's Wraithbone and Grace here are the two that they say to use. So
do you put speed paints on a wet palette?
I do.
You have to be careful doing it. You have to make sure your wet palette's not super wet because they'll thin out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
That wet palette you're using is fine. It looks like it's sufficiently. It's not overly moist.
Very rarely will I not put something on a palette to put it on a model. The only time I've ever not done that is when I'm dry brushing from like a GW pot.
Okay, what brush are you using there, Tim? Is that a wedge brush?
Yes, but you want a fine tip one, right?
Yeah. So for contrast paints, you're going to want something that is a little bit more fine. Speed paint and contrast paint, because you have to control where the paint goes. It's a lot more fluid than normal paint.
So something like this one.
Correct. Well, do you have something slightly bigger? Because you're going to be painting forever with that.
I have the shade brushes.
You're looking for a number 2 or a number 3 brush?
Where's the first one that Lindsay pulled out for you?
Good question. This one over here? The wash brush?
Let me see.
No.
Maybe it's just...
It doesn't come to a tip. That wash brush has seen some use.
Did it before Tim got a hold of it?
Oh wait, there's a new one right here.
Last thing a brush wants to hear.
And I gotta figure out how to open it. Oh, we only have like 10 minutes left. Progress doesn't always happen.
I don't know. It looks like Charles has made fantastic progress on my Dooku.
I mean, so yeah, at the end of the day, right? It's a complicated package to open. It's like a curve, right? So like, I might not have made progress, but together we have made progress. There we go. All right, so how about this one?
Yeah.
For those Death Troopers, that's going to be the one you want. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like the speed paint has just soaked completely into the palette.
Just mix it up on the
into
palette.
the paper?
Make sure.
Yeah, like into the paper.
It's not into the paper.
Yeah, it's parchment paper. You shouldn't be able to.
It's not parchment paper. Uh-oh, was there only one sheet on this? Yep. So...
Ugh.
So that's the sponge, I guess. I thought... Okay. Oh, don't tell Lindsay.
Oh my God.
So that makes sense why... Okay, all this... Yeah, all... Okay, yep. Well... some people... You know,
bad.
some people like the cucumber better pickled, I guess.
Somebody likes some people like the wet palette sponge drenched in paint.
So here, I'll use this.
You took the parchment paper off?
Yeah, I thought there was more parchment paper under it. I thought there was more under it.
He thought it just applied itself.
So I'll use this then. That's fine. This bottle cap. All right.
Oh God.
So how do I speed
Please tell me
paint?
Dr. D left. Oh man.
Oh man, this is. Hopefully Dallas made it in here.
Okay, so yeah. So I have this brush now, right? And I have speed paint on it. How do I speed paint?
Thin layers.
You have simple green at your house, you're gonna need it.
Yeah. Mid-table oof does not cover what he just did.
I am super impressed.
Thank you. I think.
It takes a lot of effort to suck that much.
You know, I wish I could say that it seems like I'm putting effort in. But you know, sometimes
Taylor.
I don't know. I haven't seen that guy in years. At this point.
I'm trying to find a hobbyist near you that can like do an SOS house call type thing and help you out.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, Dr. D doesn't make house calls.
Well, he's not even a real doctor. Like, I mean,
Sure, he makes house calls for the right amount.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Well, that's true.
I just don't think any of us can afford it.
Tim, are you controlling how much paint you're putting on that model? It doesn't look like it.
Is that a loaded question?
Like that brush is.
Oh man.
Charles, have you taught him how to just do the dip method? Remember that the old time historical players would do?
If you're watching him, then yes, I did teach him how to do the dip method. Man. Maybe I just suck as a teacher.
No, I think I suck as a student.
Yeah, you're not working with much here, Charles.
I'm working with a lot of paint.
A lot of paint, a lot of failure, a lot of brushes, a damaged wet palette, a dead sponge.
How's
We're
that
working with a whole lot of things.
How's it a dead
How is
sponge?
there no paint on that Adepticon hobby mat, but there's paint on every other surface there?
Everyone said brush control is really important, so I never brushed the hobby mat.
Charles, your Dooku looks fantastic, though.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the way this brown's working. I think just because it's not bright enough yet. I think that's what I'm.
Move it closer to the camera. I think you're just missing the top end of that highlight. I think it's looking fine right now.
Yeah, that's where I think I'm just not bright enough yet. So, like,
Tim, did you get it all already? Good Lord.
No.
I mean, at least the model looks black now, not gray.
Right, it's progress. We've gotten it back to what it looked like when I base coated it.
That was base coated black?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I think we're going to
how?
I
I don't understand.
I built to lighter colors. That just happened to look like it was primed.
Yeah, but you were essentially painting with a roll-on painter for a house. So,
well, if you've seen my painting streams before, like that's what my experience is in is house paint, bathroom paint. Well, that looks so much better.
now with that contrast paint, you have to let that dry completely, or that's a speed paint, right? It's not a painter.
Yep.
With that speed paint, you have to let that dry completely before you work anything else.
Okay.
And you want to make sure that you're not letting it pool anywhere.
Yep. Like it can pool like in the deepest recesses, but not.
Yep.
Not like a puddle.
I would say like you do a wash, but you wouldn't understand.
Yeah, I don't wash.
I didn't know you had speed paints. If I had known that, we would have done this speed paint method. So I could have also been way more prepared.
I think it would have been.
I didn't know what I was going to have access to today ahead of time.
I could have been more prepared if you had told me you wanted to do this, I don't know, not the day before.
Well, fair.
Not only not the day before, but, you know, the night prior, like a few hours prior.
Tim is already better at modeling than any game he's played on the stream in the past 3 months.
Who threw that out there?
Oh, Richie.
That is a low bar, fellas.
Oh man.
I don't know. I'm already back to gold. Oh, go ahead.
I hope you continue to proceed on this journey.
Yeah, I'm on my path, man. I'm not worthy yet, but we'll get there.
Now you won't be worthy, but
there we go. Getting better at noticing when the camera goes off for Charles. I don't know if that's like a timer for Streamlabs specifically, where it's like after a certain amount of time it like just turns off the camera. But I just go back into the setting and hit on, and then it works.
Yeah, so like I tried using the app to join, but that's a different method than just joining on the web browser.
Yeah.
Like you have to use like their collab camera setting and
it has a lot to be desired. It's a newer feature. I mean, I guess it's been out for probably a year now, but there's certainly room for it to grow. Unlike my painting skills, which are pretty near tapped.
Well, here's the thing: you have nowhere to go but up with your painting skills. You were at the floor.
I mean, I'll be able to say we started from the bottom and now we're still here.
Yeah, but you can't come spray. You know I've done the fight, right?
But you haven't even seen how good I am with an airbrush. I haven't sprayed anything today.
I wouldn't let you touch an airbrush.
Don't feel bad, Tim. Tiz doesn't touch an airbrush either.
Oh, fair.
I got people for that.
Yeah, me too. So we're kind of at the same airbrush talent level. That's kind of cool.
No, I know how to use one. I'm just in a room full of professionals. They're not going to give me one.
He talked mad shit about me the first time I used an airbrush, so don't feel bad. Like it was bad.
I did? I don't remember that.
Just kept putting me down.
He does that.
What? Listen, man, you probably deserved it.
Keeps you on your toes.
I don't wear open-toed shoes.
I don't think I said anything about open-toed shoes.
I thought you said keep showing your toes. That's what it sounded like you said.
Oh, that's what I thought he said too.
Weird.
Yeah, it does. Keep you on your toes, but I don't know what that has to do with open-toed shoes.
Well, that's the best place to show your toes is with open-toed shoes.
Yeah. Yeah, that highlight on that cape is perfect now.
My model doesn't have a cape on it.
Yeah, not talking to you. We can't actually tell if your model has a cape on it because it's all just gloss black paint on it right now.
Right? It's looking better all the time.
Tim has nowhere to go up on most of his skills.
Has nowhere to go up on most of his skills. Yeah, that's probably fair. Listen, everyone likes an underdog story. You just got to, permanently stay an underdog.
Like Seabiscuit, Rocky,
Pocahontas.
Who was the
there
underdog?
were a couple other
Pocahontas.
A couple other comeback stories. I can't remember what they were.
Oh, Kim Kardashian.
Oh yes, that's the one.
Dude, the Stark Trooper's so dark now. Like, we're in a good spot.
You are very much correct, Marsupial. Like he does add in words a lot, even when they're not supposed to be added.
Tim is bad at
and
reading.
It's real
closely.
annoying.
Well, I'm trying to look over while doing other stuff. It's
Well,
just,
your models don't look like you've been looking at them while painting. So what else are you looking at?
well, good question, man. I don't know. We'll figure that out. It's kind of a mystery we can solve together.
Stop loading your brush like that. Oh, you're giving me anxiety.
Yeah, I'm not shocked Rylan tapped out pretty early today.
Did we get proof of life on him? He might have had a stroke.
Oh, wow. When you push this around, it looks a lot better.
Charles. Charles.
Yeah, I'm gonna work
Get
with
one
him,
job here.
outside of stream.
I have some choice words I'd like to use off of stream for your painting.
Is it exquisite?
Sure.
You know, I think by definition that would actually work.
You might be right.
I don't think it would work the way that word was intended, but by definition, yeah, I think it would work.
Tim, can you do an
Right.
impression of what it would sound like if you were really good at hobbying? Yeah, I can.
It's me, Tim. I've been practicing painting. I can't do it for too long, otherwise I pull my pants.
Like that?
Charles, can we appreciate the journey Tim has gone on? He primed them gray, painted them black, built them back up to straight gray, and now is putting them right back
Yep.
black. That's a lot of work in a day to get absolutely nowhere.
You know, this chair has wheels, but while sitting in it, I haven't been spinning that much.
There you go. That one's looking like it should with contrast paint.
Yeah, I just needed 2 practice models first.
Well, somebody needs to reach out to Lindsay and ask her to pick up some simple green
Yeah, they're going to need it.
and some cheap Tupperware.
No, I'm not starting this one over. This is
You already have.
It's not really technically starting over if you apply the new try over the last one. That's
Yeah,
pretty
but
much most of
probably gonna end
Chicago,
up
isn't it?
losing detail.
Yeah, that's okay though. Like we have to have a snapshot of the first time, and that way I can look back at it and be like, oh yeah, remember that time I did that?
You should enter this in the worthy just as it is.
Oh,
With your
Dallas
hand
would
looking
allow-
like that and everything, it'd be perfect.
I don't think Dallas would let it go into the case.
it'd go on the.
Well, he might not. It's supposed to be open, but he may make an exception for Tim.
It'll go in with Dr. D's Miss Sinister model on the bottom shelf.
Yeah, I bet you Lindsay didn't watch this stream. She knew.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, she ducked out pretty early. And that was when arguably I was probably doing better than I did for the following hour and a half after that.
Yeah, before you started.
Yeah, I guess that's on me for not realizing that you weren't actually paying attention.
I mean, I was trying. I was distracted.
By what? You have one thing to focus on.
On painting.
Charles is teaching you how.
Well, I thought I was supposed to be doing it like while he was doing it.
Well,
You watch
usually
and then
what-
you replicate. You watch and then you replicate.
Yeah, usually that's how that goes. But again, hey, that's on me. I should have been paying better attention.
Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah. Which one are these? Is this the do or the do not model?
It's probably been both at some point today.
This almost looks like a
Do they
computer now.
Do they sell replacement sponges for that wet palette upstairs? So you might want to pick one up before you leave.
You can just machine wash it, probably, right?
You
I
can
wouldn't.
take some dish soap and gently wash it, and try to rinse it out. It should still be a little bit salvageable, but wet palette sponges, like most of them, are pretty fragile. So, like the one I'm using right now is on its last leg. It's got tears and everything in it because I clean it regularly.
Gotcha.
If I change the parchment paper, like actually change it, throw the old one away, put a new one on. Before I put the new one on, I will go rinse it out and clean it. But like it's starting to get tears and everything in it. Luckily, I've got one more. When I bought it last Adepticon, it came with 2 sponges and a stack of papers. Because this year,
You need more sponges, Charles?
Oh yeah, no. When I went to that booth, they were sold out.
They have
and I
them
just
at my
haven't gone.
LGS. I'll pick you up a couple tonight and put them in this box to send you.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah.
You have the
forgot how
regular
quick-
size exemplar, right? It's the one you made me buy last year.
I think so. Yeah, because I think they have a
Yeah.
slightly larger one now, right?
Yeah, they have the
They have, like-
XL, and I'm not a good
Yeah.
enough artist to need that one.
Yeah, me either.
I probably need one that size.
I don't think that's big enough for you.
Yeah, you need the Bob Ross like palette you can hold.
Oh, with the little thumb hole and everything in it?
Yeah.
All right. So brush maintenance. What do I need to be doing with all these brushes to make sure I'm taking care of them as we finish up here?
Throw them out and restart.
Well, yeah. Remember when I said don't get paint in the ferrule, and you were like, "Oh, I already did that."
Yeah, I picked it off though.
Yeah, they're no.
No.
Charles is going to tell you.
Not on the ferrule. In the
Oh.
ferrule.
Oh, I don't think I got paint in the ferrule.
So, like, you can't, like, you don't want paint to get up here in the ferrule. Because what it does is it will dry out, and then your brush will start doing, like this number.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's how. So, now there's 2 things. Like, you can use brush cleaner. Like, I use brush cleaner even on my synthetic brushes, because it does help remove like any paint that's dried in the bristles, or because like I use this brush right here. How I said I use it for everything. I literally use this thing for washing, for primering. If it's a super large model, I'll even use it for base coating. So you can see there's different, like, it's really dark towards the ferrule, and that's all paint. And that's why even when this brush is wet, it doesn't have a solid point anymore, is because I abuse it.
Gotcha.
But I still use the brush cleaner on it. You want clean water. So.
Oh, pouring more water into the paint water doesn't make it cleaner, huh?
No. So you want clean water. So like I keep this little cup of water to help refill my my wet palette, as well as clean my brushes periodically, because sometimes I'll start moving too fast and not pay attention to what I'm doing. So, all right, this is one of those times where you watch and then repeat.
Yeah, watch Charles, please. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, load your brush up with clean water,
Uh-huh.
and then take it like this. You're gonna work the soap. You're gonna lather it up into the brush, just like here. Let me, just like so. So we have this nice lather going, and then you're going to cup your hand, and if you have paint like I do for this one in the ferrules, I brush it into my hand, and what this does is it allows the soap to work in, and it helps clean off the paint without like ripping out all your bristles.
Okay.
So I do that, and then what I'll do is I'll rinse it off, take a look, and then I do that about 2 or 3 times for each brush, especially your real hair brushes, whether it's sable, wolf hair, camel hair, because the brush soap also conditions it and helps maintain the shape of the brush.
Okay. So I don't have any of that here, the soap, but that seems pretty straightforward, and that makes a lot of sense of why you would use a brush soap.
So this is Monument's brush soap. I really like it. It's not bad.
I've only heard good things about it, and that's what we have at home. So like, that's what I'll go home and wash these.
So I either use Monuments, and then I have this, the Masters Brush Cleaner and Preserver. This has been
that's the one you want.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's not broke, don't fix it. Like, this stuff's been around forever. So
you can get it from any Hobby Lobby, Michaels, anything like that.
Yep.
We'll be at the art store next
Amazon
week,
has it.
and I know they have it, so we'll probably pick some up there. You can probably just flip the sponge over, right? And it's probably fine.
You do need to go clean it with some detergent, get all that paint out, because what happens is when that paint dries, that part of the sponge where the paint is no longer going to hold water the way it's meant to. So, but like, if I lift my parchment up, like, I've got some paint stains where I've left paint.
Are you
on my
wiping that paint into the?
No, I'm blotting it. I'm blotting it.
You realize by blotting it, you're pushing it deeper into the sponge, right?
Well, it's already all the way through the sponge.
It sure is now, probably.
Well, it was before. All right, guys.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, honestly, like, I'd probably just toss that one and go get a new one, but take it home, rinse it out. Yeah, rinse it out.
Show it to Lindsay, tell her what you did, record her reaction.
So
Richie's amazing. All Tim can do is his best, which is, as you can see, is this.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it happens to the best of us, probably.
And even you.
Correct. Hey, but listen, honestly, I learned quite a bit today. I learned that you don't take this cap all the way off when you take paint out, so don't do that. That's a good takeaway. This is not where you're supposed to squeeze it out of. So that was, I think, the first 2 hours. I thought that that's how you did it. So listen, progress, not perfection. Even if there's no progress.
Well, the best part, my daughter was watching, so now she knows what not to do.
Yeah, see, like we're helping people not to repeat my mistakes.
And we all need to be on the lookout for Dr. D's newest article, how to open a paint bottle without fear.
That's right. I was pretty scared for a lot of that, so that type of article would probably help me quite a bit. There's a lot of new brushes here. Whoa. All right. Well, Charles Tisdale, thank you much for helping me at least attempt. But we'll get there.
I didn't do anything, brother. It's all you.
just wiping your hands.
Charles is not claiming this at all.
But yeah, man, appreciate you having me on. So.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Tim.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's do it again.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. Tomorrow, Ben will be on for some more Soul streaming. So make sure to stop in and say hi to him. Keep your stream streaks up, all that good stuff. But otherwise, we'll see you next week. And we got a whole bunch going on next week, too. So new Shatterpoint with these models that I'm painting. They'll be on the board for someone to use who's actually a very talented painter, so I can't wait to hear what he says about my job.
Well, if they dry by then.
But until next week, enjoy. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Happy 4th. Hope you're doing some dope stuff for the 4th, and happy Cinco de Mayo. But otherwise, we'll see you on Tuesday. And listen, a new episode of Wait Did I Roll a Wild went up today. We had Hank Edley on. To talk about Adepticon and the new facility and worlds and all that good stuff. So I think that makes 2 episodes this week that are heavily Adepticon themed or focused. But
it should be.
Right. But until next time, have a good one. We'll see you later.
Later, bud.
Today, where we interviewed Tim Simpson and Mike Tisdale, some of the head TOs